I know he's gonna tell me that, and I already know it, so I don't get impressed with that. But you told me something I never heard before, and it really clicked, and I swear that it really touched me deeply. It's like what if that is the thing?
If you've ever struggled with focus, this is going to be a great Jumpstart session for you. This is from one of our live public coaching calls where a creative thinks he's got too many ideas going in too many different directions and can't pick that one thing. We're always being told, pick one thing. Well, I share a perspective that he's never heard before, because ultimately, he also doesn't really necessarily resonate with people like me. Well, I changed his mind in this session. So let's rock and roll.
So it is overwhelming in a good way. It's a lot of things. I'm trying to process what is the path, and I don't want to miss anything. So I see so many things that I want to grab. So I'm right there trying to figure it out. What is the best way to do that? When I was a kid, like I was exactly like the way you were describing it. I'm still like that, and I see that as a problem because it's holding me back. And I'm always kind of holding. I don't want to get older, and suddenly I'm 45 years old. I'm talking about 20 years ago. I feel that I'm not in the place where I wanted to be when I was 45 years old. And me being here is part of that, because I wanted to take action and do something. But my problem is not lack of motivation or that energy. It is that because I'm always looking back, I'm always all over the place. So not helping me with focus. It's like when people says like, you need to identify what you love and follow it, and then you will be fine. You just need to do the perspiration part and the grind, and then you will get there. But that's because I'm always all over the place. I never been like that speech that some people give you is like the answer is inside you. I never get it. I never find anything inside. Well, it's not like, it sounds bad saying that I never find anything inside me. But it's like that answer that what I know that I'm in the right field. I like video production. I've been doing. I enjoy that. But when I try to focus on something, then I get distracted. But it's like I'm getting really good with the camera, and then I want to edit, and then I start paying attention to edit. Then I didn't get really good like I wanted in the camera. But sound, oh my God, my sound is not working good. So I'm gonna learn about sound, and then I start working in so many things that I get tired, and then my focus and my energy goes down. And then if you ask me, what is that part because I've heard you in different chats, and you ask sometimes people, is like, if you could do just what you love, what would you do? And I don't have an answer. I don't know.
And this is honestly why more and more every day I am making my work to make sure that I spend the majority of my day being able to have conversations with people. And the more I can shine light on these conversations, hopefully the more clarity people can get, because I don't like to have to generalize things, because generalizing things has people just like yourself, which is what's happened to me, get stuck with interpreting something in a certain way, and then thus being in more conflict than you might have been prior to. I just had this conversation with my wife to a degree, because I started to recognize something. It's part of what we're saying here, but something that I recognized, because I called a buddy, God, since he's known me in 2011, he's probably seen me have, I'm not even exaggerating, so I'm going to try not to say a too crazy number, but it probably might be higher than this, but at least 200 or 300 ideas. And that's probably far low, where I've called him and I'm like, Chris, all right, buddy, here it is, man. Let me tell you about this. And I am so fired up about an idea. And a week later, I call him and go, hey, man, I just got to tell you, that thing I told you last week, I figured some stuff out. Not good. Let me tell you this. And no exaggeration, some version of that has happened. So one thing I want to say to you is that there might not be this one, I'm just going to edit. Because yes, I've said things like that. Some people know that. They've come through a lot of data, done a lot of things, and they're like, you know what? From a professional setting, I'd like to spend my time editing. After everything I've tried, I really love editing. And I had a guy that did that, and it took off. He was able to quit a job that he never had quit in years, and he ended up getting a job as a Netflix assistant editor on a Netflix documentary series. And he sent me an audio. He goes, this must be what it feels like to never work a day in your life. Because he spent his days working jobs Had nothing to do with video. And then he spent his spare time trying to make money doing everything in video, being a company, hiring people, getting jobs, negotiating, blah, blah, blah. But it always came back to, well, what would you do if you didn't need money? He's like, well, really, I love editing. Okay, great. That's him. But I have other people where their life has been, I just saw a guy write a book that I'm friends with, and it was titled Follow Your Curiosity. So rather than looking at life as though you've wasted time and that you seem to see focus as your lack thereof in your mind of focus, and like, I'm editing for a little bit, but oh my God, now audio, and I learned a little bit of that, but I'm not really that great at editing, but now I'm trying to do audio. And this maybe has been your trend in life. And you're looking at either your constant distraction or looking at the past. Had you done this, had you done that this would have been different, and where you're at today wouldn't have been. Yeah, because what I've come to realize, because I did a ton of that. So as much as I was future oriented, in the last number of years, up until maybe 12 months ago, I was also very past oriented. I kept looking at, well, if I'd have known, this idea that with what I knew now, had I, of course, known that, which I didn't, and you didn't either. Right? Like, everything you've done has been the best you've done with what you knew. So yeah, if today knew all he knew when he was 18 years old, you might have made different decisions, but you didn't know these things. So it's easy to look back and have hindsight be 2020 and go, oh, well, if I would have done this and I would have done that and I would have done, then when I'm 45 now, my life, I'd have $1 million in the bank. Right? But the problem is when we live in frustration with what we're just currently doing and feeling like we never can either commit or focus or whatever, and then we look back and know all that we know and wish we would have applied things we now know into our past, that our present would look all different. And what I realize is that still is a part of that. It's a state of frustration. It's a state of, you shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and you can't seem to do it. Yeah, you can't seem to find that thing inside. So to me, it's going, well, what would happen if you looked at this fact that you are a curious guy who likes to learn? See, some people have accepted that their personality style at their current, some people change, some people don't. But it's that they are curious people. They like to learn, and they're not going to stick to one thing. And so rather than keep beating myself up, I've used the story recently where there's some people I've known who are starters, they're obtainers, they like to start things, but they don't like to finish. They don't like to maintain. Two sets of people do that. And then there's people who do that, who look at it as a bad thing because the way they've built their life, from a business perspective, they never get very far, because that is true. And you're bouncing all over the place. And you don't look at that as a way to do it to where it can work for you rather than against you, then yeah, that can look like, from a financial and business place, that is not good. In a lot of ways, it can't be. But there's other people I know who have owned, I like starting, I like building and creating, and then I get bored. 2 to 3 years in, the business gets to a place where it's in a maintenance stage. I'm bored. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to do something else. And so they've done that in a way to where now they sell, they put people in place, whatever it is that looks like, versus others I know who get to that place of boredom and they obliterate the business and then they start over again. But their money in their bank account never grows because they get to a place where it could start to grow and they get bored. So they obliterate and sabotage and kill the business. And then they go start another one, and it's rinse and repeat for their whole life. And their whole life, they're like, man, I just can't seem to focus or commit or stay with a business. But then there's other people who do the same thing and they're freaking loaded because they realize that's what they like to do. If inherently you actually like, and rather than looking at that as something that shouldn't be right or you shouldn't like or shouldn't be the thing, but you like the spontaneity, the switching things up, the variety in life, and that is something that does actually light you up, but you're made to believe right now that it shouldn't, and you should find the thing that you stick to, but that bores you. But because it bores you and you can't seem to do it, then you think you're broken and something's wrong. Is that relating?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it is amazing that I'm gonna be honest. I hope you don't get this wrong, but I always kind of very reluctant to hear to motivational speakers. And I think that you're more than that. I see you more as a coach than a motivational speaker. But I always had resistance to that kind of speech because I'm very skeptical all the time. So I'm every time that I see like Tony Robbins or people like that, I'm like, yeah, I know he's gonna tell me that I am the best and I can, and I just need to declare it, and I will, and I know that, and I will not, because things don't, for me, don't work like that. If you don't work hard for it, you don't get it. It's not just, it's not a mind thing. It's a mind thing plus action. I know he's gonna tell me that, and I really know it, so I don't get impressed with that. But you told me something I never heard before, and it really clicked, and I swear that it really touched me deeply. It's like what if that is the thing? Thanks, man. Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you very much.
If you'd like the opportunity to be coached like this, click the link in the description to attend a future Jumpstart session, or click here to watch the next breakthrough happen.